Please support the Feral Druid Army. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Meow. Hey there, how's it going? Welcome to my 7.2 Feral Druid DPS guide. This is kind of a beginner's guide for Feral Druid. It's going to be very in-depth. I'm going to be talking about the rotation for a minute, the talents, the artifact weapon, and just an overall overview of Feral Druids in 7.2. I hope you guys are excited. There's a few different talent builds that I'm going to be talking about, and a bunch of other fun stuff. Feral Druids are doing amazing in 7.2. I've been dabbling a little bit in PvE since it came out. I've been doing a bunch of grinding and farming and just killing and slaying, so I've kind of built up a few different builds that I want to share with you guys, and I think that you guys will really enjoy. And don't forget to join the Feral Druid Army and smash that sub button if this guide helps you out. I do a lot of streaming and videos, and it's a lot of fun over here. Join the Feral Druid Army. Let's do this. Let's kick this off with talents first, and then we'll move into rotation, artifact talents, and then the stat priority. So the first talent that we have here is Blood Scent, and the reason why I go with Blood Scent is because that 10% critical strike on melee abilities such as Shred or Rake is very good, because when you use these abilities and they critical strike, instead of generating one combo point, it's going to generate two, making it easier to get to your finishers, and it also increases your damage. I feel like Lunar Inspiration might be a good and ideal situation if you have a bunch of ads that you're fighting and you need to dot people up, but I do enjoy Blood Scent and I will pick it up pretty much all of the time. It's just very comfy to use. For the second tier, a lot of the times I will pick up Displacer Beast just because I can move through stuff, I can move around stuff, and I don't need to be targeting somebody like with Wild Charge. So Displacer Beast is great for mobility. You can get away from a boss, you can move to a boss, you can get out when the mechanics are like, you know, you need to run out of the group, and all sorts of different things that you can use Displacer Beast with. And for the third tier, I go with Guardian Affinity or Balance Affinity. You kind of want to feel out the boss fight or the mythic that you're in and see what will work best for you. If you run Balance Affinity, you can get an extra range on Brutal Slash if you're in mythics. If you're running Guardian Affinity in raids, you have a little more survivability and things are a lot tougher. For the fourth tier, it's pretty much a free-for-all, though I do pick up Mighty Bash a lot of the times, just because the stun's nice to have whenever you need it. You never know what's going on, but you can change depending on what the boss fight requires or what mythic you're doing. I don't know if you want to mass entangle a bunch of ads, you know, there's a whole bunch of different ideas and things that you can do with these. For the fifth tier, I pick up Savage Roar pretty much all of the time. Whenever I'm running in raids or single target boss fights, I will pick up Savage Roar, Jagged Wounds, and Blood Talons. And these are the last three talents. I'm going to talk about all of these three together. Savage Roar will increase your damage by 25%. You want to keep this applied at all times. Jagged Wounds is going to reduce the duration of your bleeds by 33%, giving you stronger bleeds over time. You're going to be refreshing them a lot faster, but you should be able to easily. And then with Blood Talons, you're going to be getting those Predatory Swiftness procs, which you already have, but you're going to be using them on regrowth more often. You're going to want to be using your Predatory Swiftness on regrowth all of the time if you run Blood Talons, because that regrowth will give you a 50% buff to the next two abilities that you use. So what you do is you build up to 5 combo points, and then you Blood Talons and empower your finishers and your Rake, and you do a lot of damage. And then in mythic dungeons and sometimes in boss fights and raids, you can substitute Brutal Slash with Blood Talons, and Brutal Slash will do a lot of damage to ads. You can use this all of the time, especially in mythics, how you're fighting ads to get to bosses. It's a lot faster to clear. You can get more chests in mythic pluses, and in raid fights where you have to take down a bunch of ads like the Botanist, Brutal Slash can be good to cut down on all the ads health. So that is why Brutal Slash is important to the Feral Druid spec. Make sure that you're looking at the boss fight or the mythic that you're doing, and you're tweaking talents to better suit what you're doing and what your playstyle is. I do recommend that you pick up Tomb of the Tranquil Mind, which allows you to change your talents on the fly when you're not in a rested area. You should always have a few of those in your bag when you're raiding. Now that we've talked about the talents, let's go over the rotation really quick. The rotation consists of first gaining 5 combo points to apply Savage Roar. You want Savage Roar to be up the entire time you're fighting a boss or ads in a dungeon. Once Savage Roar is applied, you can begin applying bleeds. Since you are running Blood Talons, you need to use your Predatory Swiftness, on regrowth when you reach 4 or 5 combo points. This will give you 2 stacks of blood talons, which is why we wait until 4 or 5 combo points to regrowth. Most of the time you will use your blood talons on Rake, Rip, or Ashermane's Frenzy, and the occasional Ferocious Bite if you pop Berserk and Tiger's Fury, or you get a little bit of an extra energy boost. Most of the time, if Omen of Clarity procs, you should use it on Thrash. Omen of Clarity gives you a chance to use Shred, Thrash, or Swipe with no energy cost, and it procs on auto attacks by chance. If you are in Mythic dungeons or fighting a boss with a lot of adds, using Brutal Slash on big fights can contribute to a lot of good damage. Now let me work through the rotation in real time with you guys. So I'm on this training dummy right here. You can see my spells and abilities come up over here, and I'm going to start from ground 1 on the beginning of a boss fight, let's say. You're going to, prior to fighting, do a regrowth on yourself so that you can get a Blood Talons proc, and Blood Talons is going to increase the damage of your next ability by 50%. So what we're going to use this on is a Rake. So we're going to prowl on up, because if you prowl and use Rake, it's 100% increased damage. So we got that Blood Talons Rake with another 100% increased damage because of its stealth. We're going to pop up and use that now. So we're going to start with that, and then we're going to shred. That's going to be Blood Talons empowered, and then we're going to shred again, shred all the way to 5 combo points. And now we're going to come down here and use a Savage Roar. When I use Savage Roar, it's going to trigger Predatory Swiftness, which will give me a free cast for regrowth because it's a 5 combo point finisher. So we use that. We have up here our Savage Roar and our Predatory Swiftness. So let's build ourselves up again. I got 4 combo points. You can do this at 4 or 5. I'm going to use my regrowth for my Predatory Swiftness. I'm going to get Blood Talons right here. And now that I have 4 combo points, instead of using Rip then Rake, I'm going to use Rake to get the 5th combo point, and then Rip. But you know what? I have a Tiger's Fury, so let me pop that and then do this. Unfortunately, because I'm going slow when I'm talking, my Savage Roar fell off. But let me do this really quickly for you guys. So it's like this. Rake. Shred, shred, Savage Roar, shred, 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 regrowth because we're at 4, Rake, Rip, and then you know what, you can use your clear casting on Thrash sometimes. That'll be a free cast, so you don't have to worry about that. But our Savage Roar is falling off, and we don't have a Rake, so let's build that back up again. Alright, I put a new bleed on the target because my Savage Roar and Rip were almost out. So we got both of our bleeds on there, but we don't have a Savage Roar. So let's get that Savage Roar up next. So now we have Savage Roar fresh, but our Rip's running out. So let's refresh Rip right now. Let's get 5 combo points, use our regrowth, Rip, and then Rake. And these are fresh bleeds. And let's do the Thrash again because we had the clear casting. You can see down here it highlights it. But let's build up to 5 combo points because our Savage Roar is falling off in 3 seconds. And our Rip is coming off next. What we can do is use a regrowth, Tiger's Fury, Ashermane's Frenzy, Rip. That is empowered by Blood Talons, and that is empowered by Blood Talons. Though we're going to have to come around again to get the Rake. So now we're at 4 combo points. Let's use our Rake. And now we can refresh Rip. Pretty good stuff. So that's pretty much it for the rotation. You just go back and forth. Let me show you what it's like to burst really quick. So I'm going to go kind of quick in the intro, and then we'll fix it up and I'll kind of slow down for you guys. But you can watch my abilities as they pour in and I'll call them out. So you're going to go in with the regrowth. Alright, we're going to stealth up. Let's get that Rake on there. Let's shred up to 5. Let's get 5 combo points. Savage Roar. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Now we can regrowth, Rake, Rip. We got our bleeds on there. Alright, we're cooking with lava, guys. Let's keep going. Tiger's Fury, shred, regrowth. Now let's use a Berserk. That gives us more damage. Now we're going to use another Rake and a Rip. Those are some prime bleeds, but our Savage Roar is running out, so let's get up to 5 combo points. Don't forget to use regrowth even if you're doing Savage Roar. Get that on a Rake, and now let's get the Savage Roar up there. And that was a big burst right there. It was a little bit slower because I'm explaining things, but that is the gist of how things go on the burst. You need to go quick. You need to be able to move your hands fast, get your key bindings straight in order. And you know, just stay on top of everything. If you keep Savage Roar up, you know, you keep empowering everything like this, like that, bada boom, bada bing. You put your Rip on, you know, like this. Just check it out. I'm keeping everything up right now. I can use a regrowth and another Ashamane's Frenzy. And let's Ferocious Bite this time. We have enough time between our cooldowns, I think, and a Tiger's Fury is going to come up in a sec. So now we can go like this and put our fresh bleeds on there. And now we can find our way up to 5 combo points to get that Savage Roar that just fell off. And now we're back in the action. We threw a Ferocious Bite in the mix and we still have our bleeds up. We had very little downtime, if any at all. There we go. Good stuff. Bleeds are on the target. And just keep it going. This is how the rotation works out. I hope you guys are learning a little bit of information from this. If you use Ashamane's Frenzy leading into a 5 combo point finisher and then you just kill it and slay it, you're going to get a lot of damage, especially if you fill out the artifact traits. In fact, actually you have to fill out the artifact traits. The last gold ability, Bloodletter's Frailty, increases the damage your feral abilities deal to afflicted targets by 30%. Anybody who's afflicted with Ashamane's Frenzy, you know you're going to be doing 30% more damage with your abilities. So that adds 30% on top of your Rip or Ferocious Bite right there. And also your Shreds and Rakes, man. You're going to be doing so much damage, and that'll be coming up every, what, 1 minute and 25 seconds. So throwing that into your rotation, if you can get up to this level of artifact power, is important. There's a lot of different things here though. Let's move into artifact talents right now because I have it open, and hey, it's easy peasy lemon squeezy. So you're going to start around here. You're going to get Ashamane's Frenzy, Shredder Fangs. You're going to go down this route and get the Rake damage increase because that's important. And then I like to go and make my way up to this gold ability, which gives you 15% armor penetration whenever you have a Rip on the target, and that is really good. And then we can move down here and we can get the Tiger's Fury increase, which also gives you an additional energy whenever you use it, and that is amazing. You need all of the energy you can get, and Tiger's Fury has a 30-second cooldown, so it's not terrible. And then we'll go down to Razor Fangs because all we want is a massive bleed damage. I mean, that's not all it is. Don't be getting down thinking that you're a bleeding machine, but you kind of are. But you're going to be mixing a lot of other fun stuff in between too, especially in Mythics with Brutal Slash. It's amazing. And then we'll come up here because Thrash is buffed. You know, we have all of these different artifact talents that are really increasing Thrash's damage. So we'll go and get Scent of Blood, and then we'll come down for Powerful Bite because sometimes we're going to be using Ferocious Bites and the damage is awesome. And then we want to get Ashamane's Bite, and this is why we're going along the south side here, because Ashamane's Bite is good. It has a 10% chance to add a shadowy duplicate of your Rip on the target, and that is free bleed damage right there, and it's great. And then from there we can go and get our Swipe increase or our Feral Power. Feral Power will increase the damage of Shred. You know, our Shreds are going to be doing a lot of damage. Another great one actually, which you could actually go for right after you get Ashamane's Bite, might be Feral Instinct. And Feral Instinct increases all of your damage that you deal by 15% whenever you use Berserk. And Berserk is your pretty much your burst. So whenever you pop Berserk, you're also going to be getting that damage increase. So pick that one up if you can. And then from there, you're going to want to grab Shadow Thrash. It increases your Thrash damage even more, so that's great to have. And then you can grab Honed Instincts, you know, Hardened Roots, and, you know, everything else that we missed here. And then for here, look at these talents. These are new in 7.2, and I know that a lot of you aren't going to be here yet. Some of you are, though, and I know there's not really a path to follow here, but I kind of wanted to review them because they are nice. So we have Ferocity of the Cenarian Circle, which increases damage by 10% and stamina by 10% too. If we move along down here, we have Thrashing Claws, which ultimately will increase your Thrash damage by 20%, which is awesome. I love using Thrash now, and I need to get one of the legendaries, you know, like the Lufas, I believe, which increases Thrash damage in the radius, because it would be a bomb. And then we move over here to Fury of Ashmane, which I think is amazing. Your Tiger's Fury will grant 600 versatility to you and 4 allies for 10 seconds. This is going to be great in PvE. You're going to be boosting a lot of people's versatility. They're going to be hitting harder or healing harder, and it'll be great. It'll be bomb, guys. And then we have Bloodletter's Frailty, which I showed you. Ashamane's Frenzy also increases the damage your feral abilities deal to afflicted targets by 30%. Man, it's awesome. The artifact talents here are really good and I love them. Now let's talk about stat priority really quick, and we're going to end this right here. Now for stat priority, you want to work on mastery for the most part, and I have 51%, which is pretty good. I mean, I could go higher. The bleed damage would be amazing if I went to 60-70%, but it is kind of tough. You want to find gear with mastery on it, and then the next best thing is critical strike. So you're going to go from mastery to critical strike, and then you're going to go down to versatility and then haste. You're going to want big bleeds, so you want the mastery. You're going to want a lot of critical strikes, because when bleeds crit, or whenever your combo point generators crit, your combo point generators critting will give you 2 combo points rather than 1. And when bleeds crit, you get a lot of damage. And then your haste isn't very important, but versatility will increase damage and healing done. So versatility is good, but hey, you want to get that mastery and crit first, and then versatility, and then finally haste. If you can find gear without haste on it, like I got these boots right here, then you're in a better situation. If you check out this helmet here, it has versatility and mastery. That is a second tier, okay piece of gear to get. But if you can get something with something like this, like with critical strike and mastery, you're going to be doing a lot of damage. That stacks your mastery really high, and it also gives you a big boost to critical strike. So you want to find pieces of gear that look like this with their primary and secondary stats. I mean, this one has primary stat stamina. You want agility, but all jewelry has stamina on it, no agility or strength or anything like that. But you know what, that's pretty much it for stat priority. Mastery, you want to get it up as high as you can. Some people have it around 30%. I think 50 is a great spot to be in. I could go a lot higher though. I can get up to 60-70 and feel really good where I'm at. Well, that is it, guys. Thank you for joining me for this 7.2 Feral Druid PvE guide. I hope it'll increase a lot of your damage in raids and mythics, and I hope it'll get you guys invited into some groups. If you're having trouble finding groups, find a guild that you can raid with or do some dungeons with. If you want to join my guild on Darkspear, the Feral Druid Army, you're more than welcome to transfer over. We're on Alliance, we're on Darkspear US, and we're open to anybody. We're helping everybody gear up and just have the most fun experience in World of Warcraft. Don't forget to subscribe and join the Feral Druid Army. I'll see you all in the next video or live stream. Peace out.